Hi guys, hope you are good. And today I want to make a short video on the Stateflow using this block here, Stateflow blocks, and for the decision making system. And we'll make a simple video, a simple model for the if decision. Assume you want a system that is automatic, that makes decision depending on input. This simple system makes this decision. It makes the y. This is the input u. Y is the output. Therefore, we want to get certain value of y at a certain condition in u. Therefore, y to be 0 when input u is 0, and y to be 10 when input u is 10. Not 10, input u is 1. I want us to have a sine wave that has an amplitude of 1. Therefore, it will be oscillating from 1 to -1. And I want, whenever I get a 1 here at u, whenever I get a 1, my output at y should be 10. Y to be 10 whenever input u is 1, and y to be 0 whenever input u is 0. If this logic is defined inside here, we'll create this block together. As you can see, I want to go inside here. This is the initial state entry. The entry is the initial state. The y will always start from 0. This u is this u here, the input to the chart, whereby y is the output. Therefore, u is the input, y is our output. We want this chart to output 0 whenever u is less than 0. For example, -1, because our sine wave will change from +1 to -1. Whenever I get a -1 here, that is u less than 0, my value of y will always be 0. Else, whenever I get a 1, the amplitude of sine wave, the value of y will always be 10. That's what we mean by this chart. If you simulate this, you can go to debug. You can select a slow speed here. If I go inside, if you run, you can see how to be switching on off, because the sine wave is changing from -1 to 1, -1 to 1, -1 to 1. If the stop time here was infinity, this process could continue infinity. Okay, let's check our scope and see what is happening. This is the scope here. This is the first one is our input, the other one is our output. Let me put it aside. Oh, sorry, I want to put it here next to me. As you can see here, my sine wave is changing from 1 to -1. Whenever I get a 1, this one here, u is 1, this topmost, whenever I becomes greater than 0, you can see from this point here, from this condition here inside, u was greater than 0. Whenever u is now greater than 0, whenever I start incrementing from 0 to this point, I get a 10. You can see here, this is 10. But whenever u becomes less than 0, now from this point here onwards, I get a 0, because that's what I said here to be my output. Remember, y is output. If I want 5 here, or maybe 2, I have to put 2 inside here. Let's do that and see. Maybe I want this one to be maybe 5. Therefore, let me just change here to be 5. Let's see what happens. Okay, because I'm using slow, let me use fast for now, save time. You can see here this 5 is occurring whenever I'm in u greater than 0. Whenever I get whenever u is less than 0, I get 5 from this condition here. But whenever u is greater than 0, if you go inside, whenever u is greater than 0, I get 10. This can continue back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, depending on your time here. Let's now create this together. I need a sine wave. You can just go to the library here. If you go to the Simulink sources, you get a sine wave there. If you type the word scope, you can get scope. Okay. If you want, this scope has one input by default, but if you want to get two inputs or 3, just double click scope, go to this settings, number of inputs, I need 2 to have 2 axes like that. Okay, you can see I have 2 axes in my scope. Then I need to go back to library. You go to the Stateflow. The Stateflow has 4. We have a chart. In my next videos, my future videos, I'll make videos using sequence viewer, state transition table, and truth table. But for now, is a simple introduction to Stateflow using a chart. Therefore, just stick your chart there. Maybe you can do like that a little bit. This is why now you define your if condition inside the chart. Okay, if you go inside the chart, there's nothing. You need not to put the first state. The state is for example, my state, I used state is on and off, on, off, on, off, the state of your system. Therefore, maybe I want my state to be maybe maximum y, maybe to be my state, or let me start with a minimum y to be a state. To get the first value of y to be, you have to use underscore. Okay, like that, like that. A state is it means maybe you want, it means the state you want your system to be at that condition. I want to have a minimum y. Also, I want to get a maximum max y. These are the 2 states I'll be working on. Okay, then I want to shift from min to max and back and forth at a certain condition. That condition is which you define here at entry here. Whenever I'll use maybe my m to be 0 like that. This means if whenever I'm in this state, which is min y, let me use m. Whenever I'm in this state of min m, my m becomes a 0. But whenever I'm in this state of max m, my m becomes maybe 20, like that. Maximum m, minimum m. If you know, you have to connect this one because it is back and forth. This you are going to move from state of max m to state of min m whenever something happens. Maybe you want to use whenever u is less than maybe 0, I go to this state. But whenever my u becomes greater than 0, like that, I move back to this state. Min m, whenever u is less than 0, entry becomes the output becomes a 0. The same case, whenever the input here, the control that is a U, becomes more than 0, I go to max M entry, my M becomes 20, 20 is the output. Therefore, this state will give me a 0, this state will give me a 20. Okay, if you have to run here, you get this, that's fine. Just minimize, use this one here. You have not to set this one. My U is the input to this system. Then it uses the input, the value of U, compares the U with the value defined here right now. Then from that executes either max M or min M state, and my M is an output. That's fine. If you go back here, you can see we have U is the input and M is the output. Okay, let's connect the M there. I like connecting on backwards, and let's connect this one here. Okay, and also let's connect this one here. Okay, let me fast forward. Sometimes connecting backwards works like that here. Therefore, my sine wave is here. 1 is our maximum, and we said our decision here is I need 0 and 20. Therefore, whenever we go on negative side, whenever I go to negative side, I get 0. Whenever I go to the positive side of the U, I get 20. Let's see in action. Yeah, let's double click and see what we have. Okay, let's go back to debug. Yeah, to be fast, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go back here. You can see, as I said, whenever my value is above 0, I get 20. But whenever my value U starts changing from 0 to negative side, I get 0. You can see now I'm getting this type of a wave. If you're not to generate this type of wave under certain condition, that's how you go about it, using the Simulink Stateflow. Okay, I will make more videos on the same. This was just an introduction. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel. It motivates me to make more videos. If you like it, share the video for someone else to learn, and see you in my next video.